Alright, what's up everybody? We are on the third episode of Chernobyl. This episode is called Open Wide, O Earth, which is a very foreboding title, I gotta say. It's almost like it's sort of hinting at that potential shockwave happening, right? Which I'm pretty sure isn't supposed to happen. Uh, because I imagine, going by actual history, I don't think that ever did go wrong there. But that being said, of course, we do know that at the very end of last episode, when they sent those three men into their suicide mission, essentially, it was immediately going wrong there from the get-go. So that's the thing. I, of course, try not to look up anything about this event anymore now that I'm watching this show, because I don't want to potentially get myself spoiled, of course. But yeah, it's fascinating, man. Last week I watched the first two episodes of Chernobyl, and I think I already told you all, what I thought about it. Absolutely fantastic. Super immersive, captivating. I was just intrigued the entire time, right? And I just thought that it was such a I do very much, as I told you already, but I just wonder how accurate it is. I did hear some people say in the comments just now recently that there are apparently some inaccuracies, which I can only imagine like that. I'm sure some of it is dramatized a little bit more than it actually was, right? But that being said, once again, I'm not in any way bothering to look up what those inaccuracies then would be. I'm gonna clue myself in about all of that once I finish the show, but let me first get through these 5 episodes. And again, I just don't want to in any way get myself spoiled here because of how easy it is, being that it is of course based on a real story that already happened. So yeah, guys, I think for now we should just honestly dive in. Like I said, with those three guys sent into that suicide mission, where I think what they were supposed to do is remove the water from the tanks, right? Because it could cause this massive shockwave from happening that would literally destroy, I think, the surrounding 200 kilometers, as well as affect basically almost the entirety of Europe, which is crazy, like in terms of people getting cancer. And I think they talked about, lower birth rates and all that stuff, right? Or just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, like affecting newborn children, I think, too, because that's something I do know that was very much caused by the event of Chernobyl, is that a lot of people were born with these, I don't know how to call it, but these, like handicapped, basically, right? Like certain things wrong with them, essentially, physically. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it's like the subject matter of this show and of this event is very dark. At the same time, that makes it feel sometimes a little bit wrong for me to say like, oh shit, this is fascinating, or I love, or I'm like immersed or something, right? When what you see going on is just complete depression, basically. But you all, I'm pretty sure, understand what I mean when I say those things. I just mean that it's an incredibly well-made show that is, yeah, like I said, just captivating in all the right ways. So without further ado, guys, we're gonna dive into episode 3 of Chernobyl. Of course, if you enjoy my reactions, you can already watch the next 2 episodes straight away over my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, you can already find my reactions to episode 4 and 5, as well as, of course, the full-length versions if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. With that being said, let's dive into episode 3 of Chernobyl. Yeah, I can immediately hear those, sounds of radiation. Oh yeah, and their lighting was not working anymore. I wonder how well prepped they were for this situation and the potential ways it could go wrong. Okay. Okay, maybe that cliffhanger of last episode was just there for dramatic effect. It's not all gone yet, you know? Oh shit, this is a bad area. Oh, that's one of the valves, right? That's what they needed to get to. They're all just waiting in anticipation here. Okay. Victory. Was it, I mean, wasn't it like multiple ones they needed to do though? Didn't they talk about like 3 tanks? Or was this truly it already? Okay, wow. That went much better than expected.
I'm here to see my husband, Vasily Ignatenko. He's a firefighter from Chernobyl. I have permission.
Chernobyl? I'm sorry, no visitors.
Trying to bribe. You know, that usually works. What'd I tell you? People always think that everybody follows the rules, but especially if you go to like third world countries, you'll be surprised how easy it is to just bribe and, you know, get special permissions that way.
There we are. Oh, wait, I haven't finished yet.
Here he is.
What did I tell you? No hiding from you, is there? Eh? It's easy, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Damn, that's the most... I mean, they're so happy, but it's displayed so eerily. Is it bad to be in the surrounding of these people? I genuinely don't know.
There's a spike in zirconium-95. It's from the cladding on the fuel rods.
Meaning what?
The meltdown has begun.
The meltdown has begun. Well, that was supposed to happen now, right? Oh, shit. Oh, is he just dreaming?
Stop moving! Get off him! You're hurting him!
Oh, shit, they're treating him.
Get out! You can't be in here!
Yeah, you're just gonna have to blindly trust that whatever they're doing to him is the right thing to do. This whole situation is so powerless.
The situation inside the core is deteriorating faster than anticipated. The primary water supply for approximately 50 million people, not to mention crops and livestock, would be unusable.
Oh, so now we have to worry about the groundwater.
To lower the core temperature and halt the meltdown. And in order to do that, I'm told that we will need all of the liquid nitrogen in the Soviet Union. Yeah, and of course we'll also need...
Whatever you need, you have it. That should be clear
Yes.
by now.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't expect him to give it up that easily, but...
I don't want questions. I want to know when this will be over.
If you mean when will Chernobyl be completely safe, the half-life of plutonium-239 is 24,000 years, so perhaps we should just say not within our lifetimes.
Legasov is so done being surrounded by nitwits, you know? That's how he sees it at least, right? They all care about their politics, and he just can't deal with it.
What will happen to our boys?
The immediate effects subside. The patient appears to be recovering. Healthy even, but they aren't. The immune system fails. The organs and soft tissue begin to decompose to the point where you can't even administer morphine for the pain, which is unimaginable.
I guess that's what they were doing to our firefighter guy. Giving him morphine. Shit, man, yeah. Well, he's basically foreshadowing his death right now.
We've gotten a steady dose, but not as much of it. So, in time, cancer. Or aplastic anemia. Either way, fatal.
In a sense, it would seem we've got enough easy then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would be dealing with that news.
I've seen them before.
You can presume the work site is bugged. And our rooms, even our bathrooms.
Oh, shit.
Been here the whole time.
But if we're seeing them out in the open now, it's because they want us to know.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow, they're even just following them. Not even trying to hide it, exactly like he says. Well, we know that Legasov in the future is still being followed and tracked. But which interests do they serve? Just the Russian government?
The fuel is melting faster than we expected.
I know. I have a plan.
Heat exchanger, I hope.
Yes.
It's funny because she knows even more than he does.
Why did it explode? I've worked the numbers over and over, presuming the worst possible conditions in an RBMK reactor. It's not possible.
So what was the cause, you wonder?
Everyone who was in the control room. Dyatlov, Akimov, Totanov. They're all in Moscow. Hospital number 6.
Go now, while they're still alive. Talk to them.
That's a good point, actually. A lot of these people now are basically... They've already got a death sentence. They'll be dead very soon. Although we do know that mustache guy apparently lived long enough to be serving 10 years. He was never close to the core. The Atlov.
Here's one. What's as big as a house? Burns 20 liters of fuel every hour. Puts out a shitload of smoke and noise. And cuts an apple into 3 pieces. A Soviet machine made to cut apples into 4 pieces!
I think I would need some alcohol to laugh at that one. Thought it was kind of bland. Who the hell are we dealing with now?
I'm Shadov, Minister of Coal Industries.
A minister who doesn't look like he's ever spent any time in a coal mine.
To where?
That's classified.
Come on, then. Start shooting. You haven't got enough bullets for all of us. Kill as many as you can. Whoever's left, they'll beat the living piss out of each of you.
You can't
talk Holy to us like
Shut
shit.
the fuck up. This is Tula. This is our mine. We don't leave unless we know why.
Wow, respect for these guys not letting themselves get used at least.
You're going to Chernobyl. The reactor fuel is going to sink into the ground and poison the water from Kiev to the Black Sea. All of it. They want you to stop that from happening. Do you need to know, or have you heard enough?
Now you look like the Minister of Coal.
Exactly. You know, you can say what you want about men like these. I always feel like society kind of looks at them badly or, you know, doesn't treat them with respect. But they are truly the backbone of our society. Men like this, if you'd ask me, can't respect them enough. They're just actually going to their duty now too. It's crazy.
I told you not to touch him. It's not safe.
They touch you. It's safe for them, it's safe for me.
Oh, man.
Where are the others?
They took them to a special room. They won't tell me where.
Are they even worse off?
Tell me what you see outside. You see St. Basil's?
Yes, it's beautiful.
I told you I'd show you Moscow, didn't I? Huh?
This is devastating, man. You just know they're spending some of their last moments together here. I wonder if they really realize it, but I feel like they do. The dialogue with Legasov earlier made it seem like, oh, perhaps they're gonna think he's recovering, but then it turns out he isn't, and he's just gonna die within weeks.
I'm not eating that is shit. Give me something else.
I'm not a nurse, Comrade Dyatlov. I'm a nuclear physicist.
God damn, he's looking rough. I would not have known that was Dyatlov if they hadn't just told me. I still wonder if all those people are actually aware of all the risks they're taking, though.
What? I'm not good at this, Boris. The lying.
Have you ever spent time with miners? My advice, tell the truth.
Yeah, exactly. They don't take shit. So going by what Legasov said, that he doesn't like lying, he's saying the same thing, like they're not actually aware of what they're doing here. And what it means for them personally.
How deep do you want this tunnel? 6 meters?
12.
12? Why?
For your protection. At that depth, you'll be shielded from much of the radiation.
The entrance to the tunnel won't be 12 meters below ground.
No.
And we're not 12 meters below ground now.
He's not stupid.
We can start in the morning.
No. We start now.
Man, yeah, again, you can only respect these people.
If these worked, you'd be wearing them.
Rules for thee, but not for me. Although this is a different equivalent, though. I mean, it genuinely doesn't work. They just tell him to as a lie for their own safety. Wow. Loving the shots.
It's like a fucking oven. We need ventilation.
Fans will put dust in the air. The dust will go in your lungs. I'm sorry. For your own good. No fans.
Something tells me he's still gonna want it, otherwise they wouldn't have shown us. Maybe he's gonna go on his own accord to arrange it.
My name is Leonid Fedorovich Toptunov. I am the senior reactor control chief engineer at Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
I remember when Dyatlov blamed him, you know?
Senior engineer. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Interesting, so maybe they didn't exactly assign the right people for the top positions. They look so rough. It's honestly a little terrifying almost, you know? Even though you'd almost feel it's disrespectful to say that.
It isn't safe for you
He's
here.
my husband.
Not anymore. He's something else now, do you understand? He's dangerous to you.
I don't want him to die alone.
Okay. So she as well aware. Man, you can only hope you know, get a wife like that. Something tells me she's not, she's not gonna stay behind the plastic.
It's 9 time now. Vasya, we're gonna have a baby.
Has she not told him? Oh my god, but she's actually endangering her own kid now too. They're making it worse. It was already bad enough to realize that, like, yeah, her husband was gonna be, you know, a goner soon, but...
I'm sorry to bother you, Deputy Minister, but... it's the miners.
Yeah, they're getting that fan up in here, right? Oh shit, they're naked. Yeah, can you blame them with those temperatures? Are they not allowed to do that for, like, extra exposure? I would guess so. Dude, I love these guys.
We're still wearing the fucking hats.
We're still wearing the hats. Shut the fuck up.
When this is over, will they be looked after?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the honest truth.
Why didn't you initiate an emergency shutdown? Why didn't you press the AZ5 button?
We did. I reported the increase to Akimov, and he pressed the button.
Did he though?
And that's when it exploded.
What?
Now she has to pretend like she's an actual nurse.
Which room is Akimov?
27.
Oh, actually, never mind. I was kind of wondering if, like, people around didn't know about her whereabouts.
I did everything right. I did everything right.
I remember that line from the first episode. We did everything right. They don't even understand how it happened. Yeah. That's... well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
Let me go! Stop it! Stop it!
What kind of a place is this? Where is her protection? Do you have any idea what you're dealing with?
Of course I do. Please, I don't...
No. People are going to hear about this.
Wait.
People are going to hear. Do you understand? Everyone is going to hear.
What is everyone gonna hear?
I don't know if you want to be saying those things.
I'm with the official Chernobyl Commission. I've been authorized by Valery Legasov. You can check this. My name is
We know who
Ulana
you
Hom.
are.
Oh no, this is the kind of stuff that gets you killed, I'm telling you.
What is everyone gonna hear?
Yeah, don't threaten with those things. Oh my god.
Homyuk was arrested last night.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Now they just gotta, you know, cover up certain things. So you can get people in the know trying to do the right thing.
There's no longer a threat of additional explosion. We hope we have lived up to the highest standards of the KGB.
You have.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's Gorbachev here who's like responsible, right? That's who they're not trusting, and all these people here.
This entire region must be completely evacuated. All animals still surviving within the zone, whether domesticated or wild, must be presumed contaminated and will have to be destroyed to prevent the spread of radiation and disease.
What a task ahead, man.
The very ground itself has absorbed a dangerous amount of radionuclides.
Oh no. That was hinting at himself starting to get some
and finally,
damage.
we will need to construct a containment structure around the power plant itself, which will, of course, still be extremely... There will be deaths.
You get the point.
My associate was arrested last night. You are the first deputy chairman of the KGB.
I am. That's why I don't have to bother with arresting people anymore.
But you are bothering with having us followed.
Oh shit. Just confronting him like that.
You really don't trust us.
Of course I do. But you know the old Russian proverb, trust but verify.
I need her.
So you will be accountable for her? Then it's done.
Her name?
I know who she is.
See, he was completely clued in. Don't get it twisted. Trust but verify. Well, you can't trust this guy.
I'll come back when the paperwork's complete.
Oh, he's coming to pick her up himself.
I don't want to do this anymore. I want to stop. But I can't.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Akimov says they shut the reactor down, and Toptonov confirms it. They say Akimov pressed AZ5, and then the reactor exploded.
So what's the significance of that?
Do you think it's possible?
I think it makes no sense. I think it's what I would say if I was trying to cover my own mistakes.
But
I believe them.
What the fuck are they saying? That it was planned? That's what it must mean, right? They wanted it to happen, and they put... This is how they managed to put the blame on these guys just in the reactor at the time. Who are they? Yeah, I guess he passed already. Yeah. Man. I don't know, I keep leaving these episodes with no words. These episodes, man, they are so incredibly eventful, to be honest. I mean, they are an hour long each, of course, so there's a lot of time for them to dive into stuff, but I don't know, I leave them every single time just being sort of mentally drained, you know, also because of the depressiveness of its subject matter, I guess, but there's just a lot in general to think about. I will say that I almost feel like I leave every single episode with a particular theme in mind of like, oh, this is what it made me think about a lot. And I think this episode, for me, was about the fragileness, if that's a word, of human life, right? And we all like to, I don't know, we all like to, I guess, live our lives and be very focused on ourselves and our missions and stuff, right? Not realizing that it can also be over in such a quick amount of time, out of nowhere, right? Like, these people, especially the firefighter, I think it was called Vasily, right? And then his wife, Ludmila. Yeah, just one day he gets called in to go to this site, and it's just a regular fire, right? That's all that it is. And yeah, weeks later, well, not even weeks, I think it's just been a couple days or something in total now, right? But like, he's gone. And not just that, he went in the most gruesome, horrifying way. Like, if you look at all these guys, the way they're appearing, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's scary almost, right? And again, I said it during the reaction, but I don't like to say that it is terrifying. When I see them there, I don't necessarily feel even terrified as much as it objectively kind of is, because it's like that's still a human you see there, and I can only really have respect for somebody to go out in a way like that. I have a lot of respect for the characters, almost all the characters in the show, even when it comes to the minors, right? Who just do whatever the hell they're told, as long as you're being honest with them, and as long as you're just telling them this is what you're here for. And it's almost, you know, I talked about that I think already during the first episode, but I'd almost like to say that it's hard for me to think that I would do the same thing, to be honest. Because yeah, in general, you see a lot of characters in this show too who have kind of a mission to do the right thing for the world. You know, especially when it comes to like Legasov, right, and the woman too. They really want to do the right thing, even if it can literally cost them their own lives. Like when you see that woman who was starting to threaten people and saying like, people are gonna know about this, and you know in that situation that like you're putting your own life at risk by doing it. People won't like hearing that. They won't like hearing you threaten them with those kinds of consequences, potentially. It's sort of like, I am myself very mission driven, but I don't think I'm mission driven in that kind of way where like, oh, I would give up my own life for other people as easily or something, you know? Like, I think humans in general are more programmed to look after their own survival first and foremost, right? And then others. But again, in this show, you're kind of seeing people who are more easily, I guess, able to sacrifice themselves for other people, which I think, I mean, I can only respect it, right? Like, again, Legasov going to that site. At the same time, we see with the miners, for example, that their leader guy was like that, but all the other miners weren't even very well aware of the consequences of why they were there and what that meant. You know, that they exposed themselves to a lot of radiation and therefore basically have it coming for them now. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's just powerful stuff. It's really powerful stuff that makes me think about all these things. And I hope that my conversations here aren't too depressing therefore either, or when I bring up that like a life is fragile and all these things, you know. I know that for me it's kind of almost easy also to deal with those kinds of topics. Like I am quite fact driven, if that makes sense, and I don't easily like I know other people, you can genuinely ruin their mood if you talk about these things or you even make them aware of it or something. But I mean, that being said, you're watching my reactions here to a show that's Chernobyl. You know what the show is about, and you know this is everything that it dives into and everything that I think it tries to make you think about as well, right? And yeah, it's impossible to avoid that kind of stuff watching a show like this. So I don't know. I feel like I sometimes give a little too many warnings here during the commentary when it's not necessary at all. But whatever. I'm just, you know, literally blurting out what comes up on top of, out of the top of my head. But I think I've, you know, touched on it all. Maybe the one thing that I can still quickly bring up is, of course, the fact that we see now that the government is already trying to cover certain things up, or it appears like they will be wanting to do that, right? And so people that possess some of the information that they don't want to get out are going to find themselves in trouble there. And especially that pertains then to Legasov and, again, the female colleague that he has. Now that they're realizing that these guys in the reactor pressed a certain button and that's what made it explode. But that's like impossible, apparently. Again, I don't know any of the technicalities, but that's what the episode made clear. It should be impossible for them to hit that button, and actually, I think it's supposed to shut off the whole reactor or something, right? And then it actually explodes. That should literally be impossible. So what that makes me think is like, oh, so are they saying it's a setup? Are they saying somebody programmed the whole damn thing here to happen, basically, and for these guys to then get the blame put onto them? You know, like yeah. Because you would think, I mean, when something like that happens, it's supposed to happen, but you know, like by the people, of course, in the reactor core. They're supposed to be the ones responsible. They made a mistake, right? But they're actually setting it up in a way for people to believe that it happened that way, when that's not actually what is the case at all. Which is crazy. You wonder if Dyatlov, you know, in some way then was at least part of that process or not. I know he had sort of his connections to higher up people, right? He was the one leading the reactor core, and he did get put get the blame put on him. He did get a 10-year sentence, but as Legasov literally says in episode 1, during the very beginning of that episode, Legasov deserved worse than that. He deserved death, but he wasn't the only one. There were plenty more. So he must have been in on it, right? He also refused to talk, which is crazy. It's like, okay, why did you cause this to happen? Why did you want it to happen? I, once again, will say that I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is, let's say, canon in the real world. Is this how it happened? Is this what they figured out? Because I do recall, I think, that what I read about Chernobyl is like, oh, they still haven't really figured out what it is that that caused it to happen. It seemed to have been part human error and part something wrong with the core in itself or something, right? That's, I think, what I read about it earlier. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like, well, the show is almost portraying it right now like it is this massive conspiracy thing or something, right? Which it could absolutely be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not, right? I think even the term conspiracy theory has a sort of negative connotation right now, when I don't think that's necessarily justified. Like, people that think in terms of conspiracies are only trying to find the truth, right? Even though, of course, if they don't have proof, then yeah, you can't exactly say for certain that it happened, of course, as well. But I don't know. I think the whole thing is fascinating, and it only makes me all the more interested to dive into, dive into what I can find about this after I finish the show and see what we do know right now and how the show then fills in perhaps some of those blanks. Guys, I think for now I've honestly said everything that I could about this episode. I'm completely mind drained, as I said, so I'm just gonna leave it here. But if you enjoyed my reaction to episode 3 of Chernobyl, you can already watch the last 2 episodes straight away over my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we'll have episode 4 and 5 up, as well as full-length reactions if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. And now with that being said, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.